My name is Alexander. I'm 26. In childhood, I was diagnosed with autism and a very rare deviation of the psyche, in which a person completely lacks emotions. And so I had no friends, and the only thing through which I explored the world was the television. My parents did everything to cure me. Wherever we went for these highly paid psychotherapists, they all shrugged their hands. We were in Kazakhstan, Germany, and Japan. And I would like to tell you about what changed my life. It all started 2 years ago in Tokyo. I came with my parents for another person who could help me. We stayed in a hotel on the outskirts of the city. The evening came, I slept, or rather tried to fall asleep, in a room with a large window, through which I could observe the panorama of all of Tokyo. I saw a huge fog, shimmering with thousands of lights of this city. Yes, I remember, one doctor told me that when I look at something I should try to relate a word to it as a training. I turned off the light and thought for a long time, watching the lights of skyscrapers, and found only one word: beautiful. And indeed beautiful, answered me emptiness from the dark corner. Who's there? Suddenly from the dark corner, a pale girl in a gray dress approached me with long black hair almost covering her face. I saw on TV girls like her, and they always killed ordinary people. Do you want to kill me? Not yet. What's your name? Miami. And so we sat in silence for 2 minutes. What's your name? Alexander, but my parents call me Sasha. Are you scared? I heard from under the black hair covering her face. No, don't lie. And she lifted her head. Her face was wrinkled. Pale blood seeped from her eyes, and the jaw with the flesh hung at the level of the throat. She let out a piercing scream and crawled back into the corner. I closed the window and went to sleep. The next morning we went to a psychotherapist. Again, these tests and analyses, I could say that they were boring, but I didn't feel anything like that. I didn't feel anything at all. Again, evening. After I turned off the light, I sat on the floor and stared into that corner. After a minute, I saw flashes of eyes. They shone blue. Hello. She, like last time, came up to me and sat down next to me. Why weren't you scared of me? It wasn't you. What? If it was you, you wouldn't be able to talk to me with such a jaw. And I think you pretended it wasn't you. How silly. I know many people say that to me. And are you angry with them? No. Why? I don't know how to get angry, but I saw on TV how it's done. You don't know. You're probably very kind? No, the doctor says I don't know how to feel. So is it true? She lifted her head. The moonlight illuminated her face. She looked at me with her big, completely black eyes with blue pupils and asked, "Are you not afraid of me?" No. And so we sat silently for a long time, looking at each other. I looked at her. I looked, and suddenly something happened. It seemed to me that something inside me was inflating, and if I didn't say anything now, I would burst. I urgently needed to say something to her because I felt, albeit vaguely, but still, the only thing I could squeeze out of myself was you. Very beautiful. Miami. She smiled, and I did too. You know how rotting flesh smells? Until recently, I hadn't even seen corpses, let alone their smell. But seeing 2 in 1, that's something else. I don't hope that my story will be believed. I just want to warn you. I said goodbye to my parents when I turned 19. My father has this manic confidence, the essence of which is that if you're over 18, earn your own money. There's something to it. After finishing vocational school, I went to work, but not in my field. Over the year, I changed about 6 jobs and finally got a job as a salesman in a souvenir shop called Gift Wrapper. They paid regularly. I took days off when needed, and no one scolded me for it. Overall, the job was great. The souvenirs in the store were very diverse, from wristwatches, rings, talismans to huge paintings, lampshades, tables, quite old and therefore expensive. Where all this came from, I didn't ask, and I wasn't interested. Once, the boss ordered to move some things to the storeroom. Apparently, it was time to throw them away, as they wouldn't sell anymore. Other workers would then take them to the dump. I obediently got to work. Towards the end, I accidentally knocked over a box standing on an old, dusty table. Several items fell to the floor, one of which was a gold chain with some strange cross. I remember it like it was yesterday. Instead of Jesus on the crucifix, there was a body nailed, resembling a devil. It made me feel uneasy just looking at it. I quickly put it back. The second item was a ring. To be precise, it was a massive ring with an incomprehensible hieroglyph. I tried it on, it fit me perfectly. I thought that no one would notice if one ring went missing, so I put it in my pocket. Later that evening, I remembered it. It looked amazing on my finger, giving me the appearance of a wealthy man. The strangest thing was that when I put it on, I felt strange, wary, as if someone was watching me. A week passed. The ring gathered dust in the vase my mom gave me. During this time, my confidence that someone was watching me grew. I would return from work around 8 in the evening, and by 9 I couldn't go out to the landing to smoke due to anxiety. It felt like someone was always there. I even started to think that I might be losing it. Who knows, living alone, my daily routine was work and home, so it wasn't long before I ended up in the padded room with soft walls. I remember that day vividly. It was the end of February, the frost was fierce. I think it was a Saturday or Friday. I was determined to have a fun night for myself. On my way home, I bought a DVD with all Jim Carrey movies, a large pack of chips, and a pack of beer. After a couple of cans, I felt like smoking. I didn't want to go to the balcony, so I decided to go out to the landing. As I sat on the top step smoking, I didn't even notice how the lights in the stairwell began to flicker on and off, turning into a kind of light show. Then the light went out completely. I didn't feel scared, then the wiring was old. As I finished smoking, I smelled a sharp stench of decay. It made me nauseous. From the top floor, I could hear footsteps. The closer they were, the more I realized there wasn't much good in them. They were too sloshy, as if someone had just come out of the bath. In the darkness, I could only determine by sound how far he was from me. The steps stopped, about 2 or 3 meters from me by my estimation. I wanted to ask, "Who's there?" But the words stuck in my throat. Then, clenching my fist in case it was a prankster, I flicked my lighter. In the darkness, I was staring into the swollen, grayish face that looked like it had spent 2 months underwater. There was no eye, just empty eye sockets. The creature was about half a head taller than me. The last thing I noticed was how it reached out to me. At that moment, my legs gave way, and I fell down the stairs to the lower floor. When I got there, I ran out of the entrance like a bullet. I don't know how long I ran, but 2 patrol officers stopped me. I was barely coming to my senses when I said that a bum with a knife attacked me in the stairwell. They escorted me to the apartment. The light in the stairwell was on, and the horrifying creature was nowhere to be found. I don't know who it was, and that damn horror movie scared me to migraines. I handed the ring, which I considered the key to everything that happened, to my boss, saying I found it on the floor. He didn't take it. He said that it was undesirable to touch the belongings of the drowned. There was nothing else said about this video. Of course, I decided to watch it. I was puzzled by the fact that there was not a single comment under the video, yet there were quite a few views. The video depicted a man. I couldn't tell his age exactly, but he looked to be around 50 to 60 years old. He was dressed in a coat, shoes, and a hat. At first, he was walking somewhere, humming some melody. The streets weren't crowded. It was evening, or even night. There was nothing else visible besides him. He walks for about 20 seconds. Then he turns around, smiles, and stands there looking surprised. Fear is visible in his eyes. He stands there frozen. Soon, maybe after about 10 seconds, the camera falls and a scream is heard. After that, black screen. The video lasts for 5 minutes. There is nothing else in the remaining time on the video. Just a black screen and that's it. After watching enough, I went for a walk. I returned around 9 in the evening, watched TV, washed up and went to bed. I woke up abruptly from the noise. The sound was from the video. Time 12 a.m. I was very scared and approached the laptop. The video was playing. I turned it off and went back to sleep. I woke up in the morning feeling good, went online, listened to music. I messaged a friend on Skype. She invited me over. I came, decided to show her the video. While she was watching, I went to the kitchen to prepare something. Soon after putting the dish in the oven, I went to the room where my friend was. She was very scared, but I told her it was just a joke. She was acting distracted and hardly spoke. The next day I called her a lot, but she didn't answer her phone. Soon I found out that she had died. Her death was recorded exactly at 00. I don't know why she died, she was so young. But when I went into her room then, the video had ended. The fact that she watched it completely haunts me. I didn't have the strength to watch the whole video, and I probably will never watch it again.